Reading Pioneers is proud to present Chewie the Goldendoodle, Toy Trouble by Paul and Monica Carson, illustrated by Nita Kandra. Henry and Oliver jumped for joy the day Dad brought Chewie home. From his fluffy face to the tail he chased, Chewie was a great dog. Most of the time. When Dad discovered teeth marks all over his favorite shoes, the family knew they had settled on the right name. From then on, Chewie tried to resist temptation, but they called him Chewie for a reason. A few months later, on Henry's 6th birthday, Chewie found his next target. Henry and Oliver raced into the room as soon as they heard it. Crunch! Chewie, what did you do? Cried Oliver. Chewie looked up and saw tears in Henry's eyes. I just got this car for my birthday, he said. Chewie whined softly and lowered his head. He made his way outside and sat under his favorite tree. He did his best thinking there. Chewie wrinkled his brow as he felt the warm sunshine across his face. He thought for a while. Suddenly, he knew what he had to do. Earn money to buy Henry a new car. So Chewie set off to look for work. As he left his yard, he saw his neighbor Tom washing his car. Chewie wagged his tail furiously. This was just the opportunity he'd been looking for. The hose felt heavy in Chewie's mouth. He lifted it up to spray the car, but sprayed his neighbor Tom instead. Ack! Yelled Tom in surprise. Chewie, no! Chewie's mouth fell open. The hose clattered on the sidewalk, and he ran down the street. That didn't go as planned. At the end of the street, a kind-looking woman was painting her fence. She was holding a paintbrush that looked an awful lot like Chewie's tail. Chewie looked down and realized he could help. The paint felt slimy on his tail when he dipped it in the bucket. Puppy, no! The woman yelled as she looked down from her work. Chewie jumped as the paint can toppled over, and he took off around the corner. Chewie's paws felt heavy as they pounded the pavement. All this running left him tired, out of breath, and lost in the city. He started to tremble until beautiful music began to fill his ears. A guitar player serenaded a crowd. In return, they rewarded him with the change from their pockets. Chewie decided to try one more job. He plopped down next to the guitar player, took a deep breath, and gave the performance of a lifetime. As Chewie belted his booming ballad, the crowd began to walk away. Stop, doggy! You're scaring people away, the guitar player said. Tears formed in Chewie's eyes. He slowly walked away with his head low and his tail dragging behind. He rounded the corner and bumped right into a friendly police officer. Hey, little guy, are you lost? The police officer reached down and checked Chewie's collar for a name tag. Looks like you don't live too far from here. Do you want to go for a ride? Chewie began to jump and bark until the officer opened the back door. As the sights and sounds of the city whizzed by, Chewie saw all the people he had tried to help. The musician had a crowd gathered around him, filling his case with money. The woman had cleaned up the spilled paint and was finishing up her fence. Tom was drying off his shiny, clean car. Chewie rested his head on his paws and let out a deep sigh. Butterflies fluttered in his stomach as he realized he still had no way to repay Henry. As the police car pulled up to Chewie's house, the boys ran outside. "Officer, our dog is missing. Are you here to help?" asked Oliver. Henry and Oliver jumped for joy when Chewie leaped out of the back seat. "We were so worried about you," said Henry, as the boys threw their arms around him. "It looks like you've had a busy day," said Oliver, pointing to the paint on Chewie's tail. "Let's get you cleaned up." "Don't worry about the car, Chewie. We shouldn't have left it out where you could get it," said Henry. As he sat in the soapy suds, Chewie realized that even when you can't fix the mistakes you make, real friends will always be there to help you wash the paint off of your tail. And the next time Henry left his car on the floor, Chewie decided to stick with his bone. Thank you, Pioneers, for reading with us today to the book Chewie the Goldendoodle, Toy Trouble by Paul and Monica Carson. Chewie's such an adorable puppy, and you have to admire his effort to make money to help the boys to get a new car. If you enjoyed this book, you can check out Best Friend in the card above, which is a story about Chewie and his friend Scout. To purchase your copy of Toy Trouble, you should visit ChewieTheGoldenDoodle.com to learn more about Chewie and upcoming stories. You can also click the Amazon link and Facebook links in the description box. Plus, they have an Instagram account too, all of which help support the authors and illustrator. If you have a story or book you'd like to have read on this channel, please send me an email, contact@readingpioneers.com, so we can turn it into the next video. Finally, it would really support this channel if you subscribe and click the notification bell, as only 1% of my viewers are subscribers. So please click all the buttons and comment below your thoughts about Chewie. What would you do if you needed to fix a mistake? Unfortunately, this is it for today's video. While waiting for the next upload, you can check out the playlist on the left of other amazing books for children, and on the right is Best Friend, in case you didn't click the card. Thanks again, readers, for joining us today, and until next time, I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye-bye.